Okay, I want to just thank everyone for the absolutely amazing energy that we've experienced this week, both in the training classes that I've been offering and just around the place. And again, my thanks very much to the organizing committee for the amazing job that they've done. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how we've developed our value-added training program here in Fiji. So a little bit of background. During the last 30 years, Fiji's honey production has increased. We're now largely sustainable for our sort of domestic market. But sales have been largely limited to liquid honey. And the saying here is, honey is money. But we haven't paid attention to a lot of the other bee products that we can get from our hives. As well, women have been underrepresented in our industry. We know from Annalise's talk this morning that many women are involved in the family-operated business, maybe in the background a little bit, and we need to bring them into the forefront and involve them in all aspects of the industry. So in 2021, Fiji Beekeepers Association and ACR designed a first phase of a value-added training program. The goal was to start to explore what we could be making and also to try and encourage more women's participation. There was an NGO, Loving Islands, was contracted to provide a 2-day training course, one in the Western Division and one in the Northern Division. We had 22 participants, 17 women and 5 men that participated in those 2 training sessions. The workshops included making candles, body balm, flavored honeys, hard candies, and a kind of honeycomb candy. So these are just some of the pictures from that event. About 6 months after the training, Annalise did some participant interviews, and I'll just quickly go through some of the results of that evaluation. Pre-workshop participants, there were 20 that were interviewed. Pre-workshop, there were a few people that had actually made some value-added products. And most of those were candles, body balms or lotions, and making wax blocks. Post-workshop, 80% of the people that were interviewed had attempted to make some value-added product. The popular products were body balms, candies, and candles. In addition, a few people tried making some insect repellents and soap. 5 participants had actually made value-added products for sale, and their average income was $413. So that's significant when we're talking about our rural women. I think the most important factor, or the most important thing we gained from the evaluation, was that people who attended the workshops went back home and spread the information that they gained. 100% of them had spread some of that information, or sorry, 80% of them did. So they spread that to their family, their community groups, and to their friends. So their close associates after. They came back from the workshop super excited about the knowledge that they gained, and they willingly shared it out. So the impact of those 2 training programs was much broader than the 22 people that attended the workshops. So that's, I think, was really exciting. So based on the success of that program, Fiji Beekeepers decided to look at how we could expand the program, develop it a little bit further, and then roll it out again. So what we decided is that rather than going with an NGO to deliver the program, that we would involve 2 of our beekeepers to do the training. So those 2 are myself and Jean Tikaram from Waitika Farms. We're both beekeepers, and we're both pretty passionate about training, and we both make value-added products. We decided that we would offer the training over 3 different levels. The first level is all about bee products, wax products, sorry. So, and we developed a manual for each level. So this manual is all about how to render your wax, how to make different types of candles, and wax, beeswax food wraps. The second level, this manual is being developed for that, and it's all body care products. So we talk a lot about product safety, product development. We look at how you can infuse oils so that you can customize your product, make it uniquely your own. And then we cover body balms, a non-petroleum jelly alternative, a healing ointment, a lip gloss, and a lip balm. And through the training, we really encourage people to take these basic recipes and turn them into something that meets their client, their customer groups. The third level is all about honey. We've developed the manual, we're still testing it, and we're hoping to roll that workshop out this year. And it's, we talk a lot about how do we choose a good quality honey, how do we ensure that the honey is the best quality we can to make a product from. And then we look at how do we flavor it, how do we use it in our cooking, how do we make sauces and dressings with it, and then there's a section on how to make candy. Throughout the 3 manuals, the third section in the manual, the first section gives sort of that technical detail, second section is recipes, and then the third section is about how to market your products. It's very introductory. We are not, I mean, you can take a degree in marketing, and we're not trying to be experts here in any way. So in the first manual, we talk about how do you cost your product. In the second manual, we're talking about how do you develop a unique product and sort of test it amongst your friends and family. And in the third manual, we go over labeling. How do you label your product to meet all the required legislated things? Okay. So our workshops follow the Fiji Beekeepers Guidelines with a maximum class size of 12. There's a lot of hands-on in this workshop, so we need to keep our class sizes small enough so that we can give each person the attention that they need to have success. Our instructor to student ratio is 1:6. So if I'm offering a small class, it's just 1, except I never offer one at one. I always have my assistant, Ryape, over there in my class helping me out. And if we've got up to 12 people, we definitely need 2 instructors. So here's some pictures of our cover. This is the second level, and you can see an example of one of the pages that gives us a bit of technical information about how we're going to make things. And then here we have an example of one of the recipe pages. It's laid out in straightforward step-by-step methods, so it's easy to follow. So when you go home after taking the course, you can open up that manual and go, oh yeah, that's how you do it. And in the last page there, that's just our page where we're talking about how do you develop that product? How do you take that basic recipe and make it your own? So here's just some pictures of participants at a workshop. You can see that it's very hands-on, and I'm sure those of you that have attended my workshop so far this week and or walked by can sort of attest to that fact that we're in there doing stuff. So over the next couple of months, Annalise and I will be doing a number of interviews of past participants of this Phase 2 project. We're hoping to interview about 20 people that have attended and get some feedback along the same lines of some of the questions that were asked in the first evaluation. I'm hoping that we'll get some great suggestions on how we can improve the program further and look at potentially other types of value-added bee products. We haven't even explored anything to do with propolis yet, or pollen, or any other ideas that are out there. I'm super excited to hear that someone's making mead. I'd love to be able to make that myself. So as we do these interviews, maybe some suggestions will come forward and we'll be able to fine-tune and improve the program further. So I'd like you to, I'm just going to wrap up with a story about Mrs. Petty Lee, who comes from Votua village near Lakutu and Bua, Vanuatu. Petty is 70 years old. For most of her life, she's relied on family income produced mainly from her husband and her son. She took a level 2 class from me in August 30th, 2022, in a local community called Lutunakalukalu. Before the workshop, she had dabbled in making a few value-added products, a few body balms. One of her sister-in-laws had made some based on some information that she had got from the Phase 1 through a friend. So she tried making it. She'd used it for herself and her family, but had not sold any products. So after the workshop, she started making a beautiful product where she used infused oils with noni and a spice that's grown locally that I think is allspice. It smells gorgeous. She makes them and she's now selling them. They're about 250 milliliter containers that she's using. She's selling them to her friends, her villagers, for $10. In the past year, she sold over 100 products. So she's made, in sales, $1,000. Now, profit was less because she does buy her coconut oil. Her son is the beekeeper. She's not a beekeeper. So she gets her wax from her son. She gets it as raw cappings, and she and her husband do the rendering down into a nice, clean product. In March this year, she attended the Women's Expo, the Northern Women's Expo, sponsored by the Ministry of Women in Savo. This is the very first time she has attended the Women's Expo. She took 20 products with her. She sold them all. And she was selected amongst the 50 women that are coming from the north to the National Women's Expo in Suva later this year. She's super excited about that. And I asked her, so how many potty bombs are you going to bring? She said, oh, I don't know, maybe 50. And the only limiting factor for her is the availability of wax. Her son is got less than 10 beehives, so the source of her wax is a bit limited. I told her, well, you need to talk to some of those other beekeepers in the area and get some more, because you could sell a lot more than 50 when you go to Suva. So how has this really impacted her in her life? Well, she's been able to buy herself a new stove for her kitchen, and that's really big. She's been cooking on fire, and now she has a new stove in her home, and she's got her own savings plan with her own money. This is the first time in this woman's life, and she's 70 years old. So just a couple more points about what she has done as well. She's registered a business. So again, she's gained confidence, she's gained skills, and she's moving forward. So that's all. Any questions about this program? No? Okay. So I've got 2 more classes during this week. I'm going to go hoarse, but I'm having a fantastic time. I hope you guys are too. Thank you.